self-made millionaire Steve Siebold says anyone can hit life's jackpot.
Steve Siebold is a world-class expert on mental toughness training for increasing sales, developing people, and managing change. He's a best-selling author and popular television interview guest on mental toughness for building wealth, getting fit, and excelling in sports.
How does a rich person look at money? What do they see? They see
lots of it.
And just available out there in the universe?
It's everywhere, especially with the recession. We have total chaos in the economy all over the world, world economy.
So they see opportunity.
They see opportunity because there's all these problems. Because where there's chaos, there's opportunity to solve problems, to make money.
Someone said that the rich, having made a lot of money last year in the stock market and maybe some money in the housing market, the rich have an obligation to spend that money to help the economy. And you say?
Why? Why are they obligated? I mean, these people didn't make their money robbing banks. They made their money solving problems.
Because it would be good for the economy.
So is solving problems. I mean, do people want their problems solved or not? If they want their problems solved, you're going to have to look to the innovators, the job producers, the creators.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Siebold.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Personal Development Podcast. I'm Steve Siebold and your host, and I've got a really great guest today. I'm very excited about this show because I've known this gentleman now for 100 years at least. We go way back, and when I first met him, he was in the network marketing industry, which he still is now. He was a distributor back then for a company in the 90s, and then he decided to start a magazine to help the industry. Kind of in training and that type of thing, and has developed this gigantic magazine called the Network Marketing Magazine, which now has over 200,000 subscribers. And notably, he's worked with so many people. So many people have written, top people have written for the magazine, continue to write for the magazine. I've submitted articles over the years ago, and people like Zig Ziglar and Dennis Waitley, and you name it. He's had everybody that's written for this magazine over the years to really help people navigate their way through network marketing. And if you're someone that's looking at a network marketing opportunity, I would strongly encourage you to sign up at thenetworkmarketingmagazine.com, thenetworkmarketingmagazine.com, where it's really, really affordable, and you'll get so much information, behind the scenes things, and what really works in the industry based on this gentleman and so many other experts, opinions over the years who have a lifetime of experience in this industry, which I've always recommended for part-time money, sometimes full-time money, depending. So my guest today is none other than the co-founder of the Network Marketing Magazine, Mr. George Madu. Hey, George, welcome.
Thanks so much, Steve. Thanks so much.
Hey, it's good to see you. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I don't know why. I mean, you're semi-retired, so I guess you're on the pickleball court.
Yeah, exactly. I'm slumbering on the lake.
There you go. Yeah, so, we go back a long time. We've had just a great friendship over the years, and our wives, have kept us in line, and it's been great. It's been great.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see it, and congratulations again on the success of the magazine. And I know you and Debbie have worked really hard on it. And tell us a little background on yourself and network marketing, and just give us some background. Give the audience some background on your career.
My career has been an interesting one. I actually graduated with a business degree, marketing and management, bachelor's degree from NYU back 50 years ago. And, it was an interesting ride. After I graduated, I didn't go on for a, master's or doctorate or anything else. I just went right into business. And over the years, I've owned over 34 businesses in the last 50 years. 30 of them were probably considered my doctorate in business. my doctorate degree. Well, some people would have called them failures, but they were real learning experiences, and made the other 4 or 5 or 6 really, really successful businesses. So, yeah, it's been extremely interesting. Um, so that was that's how I got my start.
Well, George, yeah, and I laughed. I was laughing to myself when you said about the failures. Like, oh, people fail in business. We us entrepreneurs, we never fail, right?
Oh, yeah, right. No, I mean, really, when I say that those interesting businesses were the learning experience that literally probably earned me a PhD in business, you know, and other people would have called them failures, but you know, I don't know anybody that has died from failing in a business. I mean, it's not fatal. You might roll over, but you learn and learn and learn, and it becomes a great experience. So, yeah, failure. That's the the easiest way to success.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I know when I do interviews too, it's always, they always talk about, your successes in the intro and, oh, you've done this and you've done that and you've accomplished this. And I'm always laughing to myself thinking, you've every one of us has failed our way to some level of success. And it's like, but you're right. The failures are the PhD. Unfortunately, as you know, a lot of people, unlike us, I mean, we're just too dumb to quit, I guess, kind of thing. But they really do because I get, and I know you probably hear this all the time as well. Excuse me, being in network marketing, being in the industry. I hear this from people that want to be speakers, coaches, authors, that type of thing. They say, well, I had a failure. I was really embarrassed about it. My family knew about it, my friends. It's like, and I just laugh and say, you know what? Welcome to the club. We've all been laughed at, put down, told us we weren't smart enough, told us we weren't, and that's your entry, your sort of path to success, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because like I just said, you need to brush it off. No one's died from giving it a try and not having it work out. You just move on.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what else is there? Where else do people like us go? No one's going to hire us in real jobs. I mean, I wouldn't.
Really. I mean, our wives have tried to get us to get a real job, but over the years they've given up.
Didn't really. Just after a while, I just let it go.
Yeah.
So George, for people that that really believe in the network marketing concept, obviously like yourself, I always have believed in it. I've always thought it was a great thing. It gets a lot of bad press, as you know as well as anyone, or better than anyone. What about the people watching this that may be really skeptical because they've heard bad things about network marketing because of some of the bad press and some of the bad actors involved in the industry? What do you say to those people? Because they may be looking for an opportunity, but they're skeptical and they're a little worried that this might be, a pyramid scheme or a scam or that type of thing.
First of all, bad people cause bad press. The reality of the situation is that network marketing, first of all, being in business is just a exciting journey. I found there are at least 80% of the people that have a job wish they had a business of their own, and that's really pretty interesting because those people that strike out give it a shot, and most of them end up finding that this is really pretty exciting. So the nice thing about it is that what we have is a lot of people with a job, and I'm not putting jobs down, but there's like 80% of the people that have a job wish they had a business of their own. You know, the only problem is that 90% of the people that get into network marketing have never been in business, and they don't know what it is that is part of what, is, causes success in business. And that basically was one of the reasons why I ended up starting the Network Marketing Magazine, because with all the businesses that I've had, I just, I saw network marketing as the people's business. I've owned, when I was 24, I owned a wine and liquor store. I mean, can you imagine? As time went on, we ended up going ahead and getting involved in a lot of other businesses. I mean, I had the largest swimming pool service and repair business in the country, right? But in between, there were a lot of little businesses, and the thing is that network marketing gives us the opportunity to tip our toe in the business world. And I really strongly suggest that nobody quit their job and get into network marketing. But network marketing is one of those vehicles that you can be in business. When I had my liquor store, I mean, thousands and tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory. I mean, when I had this large swimming pool service business, I had employees like crazy. We pulled permits and everything else. Network marketing is something that you could get into. You don't have to pull permits. You don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory. You get in a really a low cost to get in, and you have the availability of learning the skill sets of being in business. And the nice thing about what we've done in the networkmarketingmagazine.com is we've helped people go through the process of what it takes to be in business. And so there's very, very little risk involved. There's very little investment involved. And there's incredible upside potential. So, yeah, I think I'm going to stick around.
Well, what do you say to the people, George, that said, oh, they've heard, bad things, that it's a pyramid scheme, and, they've heard bad things about it, and their families telling them not to do it because it's a scam or whatever. What do you say to those people?
They're bad people all over. They're bad people saying bad things all over. And this is the reason why it's important to go ahead and identify, first of all, what is it that you're passionate about? And when you follow your passion, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to ask you to do, Steve? Come back online. Let me look at you. There you go. Handsome guy, isn't he? It's a lot easier for me to talk to you than be talking to me. But the thing is that there are people that have joined something because cousin Bob or next door neighbor Sally got into something and said, get in, this is going to be terrific and everything else. This is like anything else that you would do. You gotta really check it out. And when you check it out and you do your homework, what happens is that there's less of a chance of you getting involved in something that some scammer is doing. Look, there's really no such thing as get rich quick. It doesn't happen. You and I both know that, I mean, it really takes work. It takes a journey. And that journey really involves learning the skill sets necessary. But really the biggest part of the journey is to follow your passion. What is it that you like? And that's the thing that I love most about network marketing, because, if a person comes to you and say, you could make, probably $10,000 a month in the next month or two, or you could make $100,000 a month, in the next 6 months, or you can become a millionaire overnight. This doesn't exist. But if you end up, first of all, pursuing a business that you have a passion about, and that's what people ask me a lot. How do I choose the right company? And I end up saying to them, well, it's really simple. What are you passionate about? What do you love? What do you love doing? What is it that really turns you on, right? Because that is what you should be pursuing. I had somebody recently say, I don't understand. Explain it a little bit more. I said, okay. When you end up identifying what gets you excited, there are 3,000 companies that use network marketing to bring products and services to market. Every year there are 3,000. Unfortunately, every year there's 1,000 of them going out of business, 1,000 of them coming into business. That middle 1,000 always has like half of those with one foot on the banana peel ready to go into that first group. So what you want to do is you really want to pursue the thing that you're passionate about. And I just used this example, like I said the other day. A person said, well, explain a little bit about it. I said, if you were excited about beef jerky, there's even a network marketing company that you could get involved in selling beef jerky. I mean, it's crazy, So anyway, it's you gotta go where your passion is, because if Cousin Sally is saying this is the right thing, it may or may not be. But if you're pursuing something that you have passion, now you and I both know that there's lots and lots of nutritional companies, but there are a lot of other types of companies that take different products and services to market, and it's really interesting to take a look at it. So what I would do, and I've advised many times, is what's your passion? If it's beef jerky, Google beef jerky network marketing, and more than likely you'll come up with a network marketing company that has that.
That's fun. It's so true. Yeah, it seems like there's a company for almost everything.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. I like that, George, about, follow your passion as opposed to just the company. I remember the first time I'd never heard of network marketing before. It was 1984, and I was in college, and I went to an Amway meeting, and then they used to give you a cassette tape and some information about the business and whatnot. And I remember listening to that in my dorm room all night, listening to a distributor at that time for Amway named Kay Fletcher, an older guy. He's probably younger than us now, but then he was old to me. He was 35 probably, anyway. Right. But he was talking about, how it was so great. And I'm listening to this tape thing, and this is the greatest thing I ever heard in my life. I didn't know there were other people out there who thought like I did. And it just sort of, it was just so great. But, then he got an Amway in college and enjoyed that. But, that's a long time. That's 40 years ago now. how has it changed? I mean, you've been around it for a long time, so many years now. How have you seen the industry change, just say in the last 5 to 10 years, even?
What I have found is that, everybody points to the scam artist, and that's not really that. It's not fair, because there are bad people. It's not only in network marketing, right? But what I have found is that there are good companies that are taking products and services that are brand new to society today, and they're making a network marketing leap in promoting companies like that, and it's service companies and it's product companies, and so what happens is that we have such a wide variety that, again, I go back to the passion, because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're not going to succeed no matter what, whether or not you've bumped into some scam artist or bumped into somebody that's really really a great teacher and a helpful person. And there's a lot of them. And with social media, you can really take a look and understand the philosophy of different businesses. But you have to start with some of the things that you're interested in. And as a result, if you go that route, what happens is that doors open up, and you end up seeing the con artists, the people that are just giving you a bunch of bull that doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense to you, I don't care if you've never been in business or not. When people are giving you a line of, ridiculous claims and everything else. So, you're absolutely right. There are people out there that are just bad people. But just like in anything else, you stay away from the bad people. There are people that are great people like you. I mean, if over the years I've watched you, and you've given advice, and there are thousands of people that have followed your advice, and it's easy to identify the good people from the bad people. You just stay away from the bad people, So
sure. Well, how has it changed, George? What are the have you seen big changes in the industry in the last 5 to 10 years?
The biggest change has been really social media. And it's communication and the ability to communicate. Now, you can communicate bad and you can communicate good. If you don't use social media in a real positive way, right? Instead of just trying to force people. The real point is that when you end up finding that thing that you're passionate about in social media, there are plenty of places that you can go that end up bringing you together with like-minded people. So if you're part of an organization that is involved in any type of product or service, there are people out there that are looking for that product and service, right? And in the last week, there has been a number of major companies that have gone out of business, retail companies, right? There are people out there that are looking. They're in the looking zone, right? And there are people that through social media, by just striking up a conversation, you'll end up understanding, um, you know, what it is that they're passionate about. And especially if you're in social media groups, um, I have a friend of mine who's in the coffee business and very, very, very successful. And so this other friend, um, she was questioning whether or not to get into this coffee business. And she goes, I really don't know anybody. I said, well, let me ask you this. You're a school teacher. Now, I know school teachers don't drink coffee. She goes, that's all they do. I said, well, what's the problem? You know? So, there's a, people think that there's this squiggly line to success. It's really a straight line. It's like, what are you passionate about? What are you doing? Let's find the people that are doing the same thing or have the same interest as you. And instead of throwing up all over them, have a conversation. And that's where social media has an advantage and a disadvantage. A disadvantage is people throwing up all over one another in social media and not having conversations. And the conversations are the things that really end up getting people to engage in one another. And they start asking you, what is it that you end up doing? What? Tell me more about it. So, yeah.
Okay, George, I got to put you on the spot here. I mean, you've been around this for a long time. I know you talk to the top leaders all the time. It's your business. So if someone's looking at this and they're watching this interview and they're, like you said, they're looking around for an opportunity, what are some of the best opportunities and companies right now that you're really excited about that you'd highly recommend to someone looking to get started?
Look, see this behind me? The networkmarketingmagazine.com.
Sure. Yes.
Forget about the companies. You need to be guided, all right? That's why we came into business, is to help people, all right? Now, I've already explained. The thing is that what you're excited about is what you should be looking for. This is exactly what as far as companies out there, with social media and being able to really test out certain companies with products and services that you're passionate about, it makes it so much easier to be in business and to be hooked up with people that are that are experts in their particular company and field that you're interested in. Right? I point to the Network Marketing Magazine because one of the things, the reason why we ended up starting was we're a guide, and 4,000 articles later, 226 monthly issues later, we've become a resource for those people that want to understand how it is that they can become successful in a business. All right. And the Network Marketing Magazine, when a person comes to the magazine, we have a search bar. So if you're searching for, nutrition, all right, we don't recommend any companies, but what you need to do is you need to find the types of companies that have products and services that you're passionate about, And then the way we end up coming in to play is, how do you end up becoming successful in your business? Once you've chosen that business, once you've gone ahead and taken a look and said, oh, wow, so I really want to succeed in this, but I'm not very good at prospecting. So in the Network Marketing Magazine, there's a search bar up in the right-hand corner. You just type in prospecting, and up will come, I think the last time I checked, 346 articles. Now, I don't recommend anybody read 346 articles. Right? I mean, there's only one person that's ever read all 4,000 plus articles. And that was me, because I had to. I was the guy putting it together, But get out there and build your business. But put in prospecting. And if you love Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar, put prospecting in Zig Ziglar and see what they have to say about it, So you're not going to get me to talk about any particular company, because it's all about you. It's about you. What do you like to do?
How about products, George? Are there any new products that have come out in the last, several years that are new products you're excited about, or you'd recommend that if people are looking for something different? Then I know nutrition's been a big thing for many years, but
yeah, nutrition has been really, really incredible. I would say like probably 70, 80% of the network marketing companies are nutritional companies. But there are companies out there right now that are technology companies, and they're companies that end up helping you in every aspect of living, and the technology companies are really exciting. And there's one other thing, one of the things that I'm going to reveal here now is that you and I were in the business together. I was able to recruit you into a business that I was fairly successful in, and you and your partner became one of my best partners in that business. But the thing is that today, what we have is a way of being able to look at what technologies are available today. And the thing that I found in owning all the businesses that I've had, the very first business that I had taught me one thing, and that was multiple streams of income. And I know that this is a subject that, most network marketing companies hate hearing that. But there are opportunities out there where people can be a part of a great nutritional company, but at the same time, they could be a part of a good technology company, and a great technology company that can promote or help you learn how to promote the types of businesses that you're involved in. So multiple streams of income is a way of being able to take this business process and to be able to earn a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there, and go ahead and have it tie together where they work together. To me, that's really exciting. So I would really end up taking a look at the technology companies. If you want to really learn some of the companies that are out there, just get on Facebook. I mean, there are people, LinkedIn, there are people that are talking about their companies, right? Now, some of them are throwing up all over people, but there are a lot of people that are really good and are successful and in their business, and they bring up new technologies that are just absolutely mind-boggling. I have a nonprofit called Business for Vets, and one of the things that we're doing in Business for Vets is we're supporting veterans and active duty military, and also their spouses. And what we're doing is we're vetting, some really interesting companies that we're making available to the veterans and to the active duty. Some of the spouses, I had one colonel say to me, "We've got families living on base where the wife and the 3 kids are on food stamps because the government's not paying the soldier what they should be paying." Well, network marketing is a great opportunity, to be able to make extra money, especially since all of a sudden they're now stationed in Wichita, Kansas, or some other place. They can't get a job, in their field, and they can take their business with them. So
that's interesting.
What do you think about that, Steve Siebold?
I love the fact that technology is entering the network marketing platform, because there's I've always been a big fan of network marketing. I mean, people criticize it, as like crazy, but I mean, it's the smartest way to distribute a product. I mean, and now the technology's in the game, that changes things for a lot of people. So hopefully that'll help a lot of people make, incomes. That's what I was going to ask you next, George. Do you, as an industry expert, do you recommend that people enter the business full-time or part-time?
Don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. All right. If you're going to start off part-time. Start off part-time, especially if you have a family. You might be excited and everything else. When your part-time income pays you double what your full-time job is paying you, then you can consider quitting your job. Right? But the thing is that there's no reason why a person needs to put themselves under the pressure of going full-time if you don't have a full-time income to be able to get that business off the ground. And I see a lot of people that make that mistake. I see a lot of marriages break up because of that. And it's a sad thing. I mean, it's not necessary. So part-time starting off is great. Now, if you're in the network marketing industry and you're making a good income, and you want to diversify, but don't quit your job.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. It's but some of the companies and some of the leaders push that, a little bit early, it seems sometimes. So I'm glad you took that stance.
We talk a lot about bad people. That's bad people with bad advice. It's not right. It's just not right. I mean, we've got a situation where you want to go bankrupt, quit your job. All right. And the thing is that the statistic is that 80% of the people that have a job wish they had a business. All right. But 90% of the people that get into network marketing have never been in business. And that's the reason why you don't want to quit your job, right? Because, bankruptcy and divorce, that's a quick way of going down that road. And it's not necessary, because network marketing is a great side hustle. I mean, you talk about, Uber and Lyft and all this other. Network marketing gives you a wider variety and a bigger way of doing it because you're building teams where it's not only you that's making, creating the income, it's your team that's creating the income, right? So side hustles are good, So don't make your side hustle the main thing before it pays to jump out of what you're doing.
Along those lines, George, because you mentioned leaders, and those are bad leaders that recommend people jump off the full-time into a full-time business. How important is choosing the right leader when you get into a company?
It's essential. When I got involved in the company that you and I were in, I was introduced to it because of the product. It had a product that helped my wife. She was in an automobile accident and she was hospitalized 12 times and with 4 back operations. And this was a product that absolutely changed her life for the better. And the thing is that, I ended up seeing people get excited about the company and the product, and there were people that ended up giving advice to, come on board full time. Let's go. Let's make a go of it. I'm not really sure. You gotta test the advice that you end up getting, and this is the reason why. What happens is that when you end up finding the leaders, when I got into that company that you and I were in, I first got in because of the product. I got in with a group that really didn't know what they were doing at all, and they then started asking me to make calls for them. I said, I've been in this business a month. How can I make a call to support you? You're supposed to be supporting me. And I dropped out of the business. And then I found that I really wanted that to be part of that business. And I went and I found out who the top distributors were in that business and became friends with them and joined them. And that's how I ended up becoming successful in that business. It's because those leaders ended up guiding and cutting short some of the potential failure activities that I would have been involved in. So leadership is absolutely critical. As a matter of fact, another shameless plug for the Network Marketing Magazine, for $9 a month, you get all the past issues. Okay, 226 monthly issues. All right. Well, in this past May, we had a whole issue on leadership. It was a great issue. So yeah, leadership is absolutely essential. So yeah, I mean, pick and choose. It's important. This is a business. This is not, you're not going to the grocery store picking out grapes. This is going to stick with you, hopefully.
Well, what if someone's new to a company, George, and they don't know the players? How do they pick the right leader? What's your advice on that?
again, my advice is to be able to go, use social media. And you can find out a whole lot in social media. And there isn't a company out there that doesn't have a presence in LinkedIn and Facebook. And you could start learning about companies, but you could definitely see who the leaders are, who the people are that are posting or that are asking the leaders questions, and don't be afraid, because one of the things that I've found about network marketing is that this is one industry that by far more than the 20 industries that I've been involved in, and maybe not that many, but a lot of different industries. I mean, network marketing is an industry where people want to help one another. I've never seen so much cooperation, and you're okay by contacting the big guy or the big gal, and asking them questions, and you could shortcut your success right to the top by finding those great leaders. So that's a great question, Steve.
What makes a great leader in network marketing, George? What are some of the characteristics of a top leader in network marketing?
Listening. I can't even expand upon that. There are so many people that don't listen, right? A great leader listens to their customer, listens to the people in their group, listens to the people that they sponsored, listens to the 5 people that they sponsored. They listen to the 5 people that they've sponsored. They go deep down into their organization. They answer questions. Leadership points them to ways of shortcutting the educational prospect. Again, that's one of the reasons why we're embraced by so many leaders in network marketing, because the Network Marketing Magazine, I mean, you mentioned them. We've got Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar are the 2 most prolific writers in our magazine, legends in the industry. There's only one person that has written more articles than both of them, and that is that guy up there. That was me. And it was my pleasure. I was thrilled to be friends with Zig. He what a great guy. There's another guy that's been around decades, and he's in his 80s now, and he's going to be working with us heavily, along with his partner Jeff Rinaldi, and Don Fala is his name, and people know him as the guy who had created the napkin presentation, and he teaches about how to own your life. I mean, can you imagine that? Being in business and owning your life. That's what this is about. It's not about glutathione and all sorts of fancy words and everything else. It's why do people get involved? They get involved to be able to own your own life. And he's in his 80s, and he is a legend. So many of the millionaires in network marketing over the decades have learned from Don Fala, and we're collaborating with him in the magazine. He's going to be part of a lot of programs that we have, and Jeff Rinaldi, his partner, is putting together a program to keep his legacy going, which is really extremely exciting. So, that's the leaders out there really, they're out there to help us. And the ones that don't, they're not leaders. Skip them, their egos have tripped them up and whatever, So,
Sure. Well, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're saying in general, just listen to the different answers you've delivered so far. It sounds like if I'm looking for an opportunity like this, first of all, follow my passion, which I think is great advice. And then maybe go on social media once I kind of type it in Google, like you said, what do we say?
beef jerky.
Beef jerky. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, beef jerky. Type in beef jerky. I think it's great. Beef jerky network marketing. Then I find something, and maybe I join the network marketing magazine, $9 a month. Okay, I can afford that. Right, exactly. Get all the articles.
Ransom.
Yeah, and then maybe do some real research, and then ask about the leadership maybe in that company online. You said go to the top person. Don't be afraid to do that, and see if they're a good listener, and kind of do your due diligence before you sign up. Is that sort of did I leave anything out there that you said, or?
Yeah. I mean, this baloney about the beach bum that became a millionaire within the first 90 days of being in business, that's a lie. I'm sorry to break it to you, but the thing is that there is so, look, you asked about bad people, and bad advice. You stay away from them. You'll recognize them right away as soon as they open up their mouth, right? The true leaders out there are great people, and they're there to help. And I've never met a top leader that you couldn't pick up the phone, or you couldn't message them in social media and ask them a question. I rarely find that there's a person out there like that you can't strike up a conversation. And if they ignore you, that's okay, because there's literally thousands of great leaders out there. All right. So this is an educational process, and part of the learning process of building your own business in the network marketing space is to utilize those people that are out there that are raising their hands and say, I'll help you. I'll give you a hand. And I'm sure, Steve, that you've met a lot of those people. You've worked with a lot.
Oh yeah. And I agree with you 100%. They're approachable. They're nice people. Most of them are good listeners. I mean, they really do want to help. They get a bad rap a lot of times, but they really don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Any parting advice, George? Someone, again, brand new looking at this, considering network marketing. Any last advice you'd offer as we wrap up?
The advice that I've been giving you all along this last hour, you got to follow your passion. If you're getting involved in something because somebody else has made a lot of money and you're not passionate about it, skip it. Do your homework. Check out opportunities that fall within that arena of what you're passionate about. And then again, ask for the advice that is, that's readily available. If you have questions, you see right there, the networkmarketingmagazine.com. Instead of www, put George at the networkmarketingmagazine.com. If you have any questions, contact me. I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you. My wife at one time asked me at an event that I spoke at, she said, why do you give people your cell phone number? said, well, mainly because most people won't even think about picking up the phone and asking a question. I'm inviting them to. I want to share what I've learned, and by sharing what I've learned, the best way that I found 19 years ago is start a magazine. And but the nice thing about it is this is a great industry. This is a really great industry, and there's lots of ways to start a business part-time and not give up your full-time job and make your family happy that you haven't jeopardized the income, and while you're doing a side business, a side hustle, and it doesn't have to be Uber. It can be a network marketing company that is fun. And so, Steve, that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, and I love what you say about the passion, George, because you're so right. Because as you and I know, being entrepreneurs, our entire lives. I mean, the money's great, but the passion for the product or the service has got to come first, or you won't stick with it when times get tough, and it always gets tough at one way or another. It becomes impossible in some way. And if it's just about money, you'll go where you see more money or a different kind of money or an easier kind of money. So I think you're right. That's great advice to say, go with the passion first. The money's great. Everyone likes money. It's all great, but that's got to be second or at least second, certainly not first, maybe third. But would you agree with that?
Well, one of the things that I really ask is for those people that are listening to this, that if you're prone to pray, get back online. I want to see you when I'm talking about this. If you're prone to pray, I would like you to pray for Dawn and Debbie, our wives, for being serial entrepreneur wives. That could not have been easy for these two ladies. And Debbie and I have just crossed over our 46th wedding anniversary.
That's great.
It's just absolutely incredible. And it hasn't been easy for her, but it's just been a blessing for me. And it's been just really exciting. It's been exciting to be on the show today. The people that don't know you need to get onto YouTube and take a look at your shows, because the person, Steve Siebold, that I know for years, is one of the greatest leaders that I've ever met, not only in network marketing, but in business. And this is a man to follow and to take his advice. So
I appreciate it, George.
Yeah.
I appreciate the kind words, and of course I appreciate you being on the show and taking time. I know you're busy running the magazine, and you gave, you really offered a lot of great advice for people. I know it's going to help a lot of people that are looking at the business, and of course millions of people are every day online. So appreciate you taking time. It's great to see you, my friend, and best to the family.
Okay, remember George at the networkmarketingmagazine.com, or just go to the Network Marketing Magazine and join us and see what the exciting things we're doing.
Yeah, I've been a lifetime subscriber to the magazine, I think almost since the inception back in, what was it, 2005 or
2005.
Yeah, I remember. I became a lifetime member right away, and that's a great magazine. Like you said, there's great resources, so many great articles, and behind the scenes of what really makes network marketing work. So once again,
now that you're retired, I need to have you start writing again.
Exactly right. Yeah, I know I've written some articles way back for the magazine, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to reconnect. Well, once again, George, thanks again for being on the show.
Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me.
We'll talk soon.